In 3026 AD, monsters from other worlds appeared. The world's structure changed drastically, and humanity entered the era of divine soul awakening. We fought these monsters with our mortal bodies to repel their invasion. In a massive square, students gathered in front of a giant crystal to test their abilities. A venerable white-haired elder called the next student. It was Ji Xiaotang. The crystal revealed a massive mermaid soul. The elder announced that Ji Xiaotang possessed a top-tier divine soul, the mermaid summoner. The students' voices erupted, amazed by her power. They even said her suitors would fill the entire Monster Mountain range. Then it was my turn, and Ji Xiaotang called my name, Chen Feng. She mockingly warned me not to awaken a worthless soul and embarrass myself. I stepped forward towards the crystal. As a transmigrator, I've spent over a decade here, but I still hadn't awakened the cheat skill that every transmigrator should have. I hoped this time would bring a surprise. A three-pointed, double-edged spear appeared in the crystal. This weapon looked strangely familiar. The elder announced that I, Chen Feng, possessed an F-grade divine soul, just a simple broadsword. The students burst into laughter and mockery, calling it a sight that only happens once every 10,000 years. It was the lowest grade divine soul ever. They wondered how Ji Xiaotang could have a boyfriend like me, considering it a massive embarrassment for her. A man in a formal suit approached me and told me my grade was too low, and that it didn't meet the academy's training standards. He announced that as of today, I'm expelled. Another man in uniform confirmed my expulsion, saying it was his first time seeing a divine soul as low as F grade, and that my existence was a stain on the academy. The laughter continued, and a girl called me an idiot, shouting at me to go home and feed the pigs. Another student mocked me, wondering how F-grade trash like me could deserve the A-grade beauty Ji Xiaotang. Just then, Ji Xiaotang walked up to me furiously. She said she never expected me to only awaken an F-grade divine soul. She called me completely useless, and announced the breakup of our engagement, saying I didn't deserve to be her boyfriend. A handsome blonde guy named Li Hao appeared, an S-grade divine soul awakener. Standing beside Xiaotang, he mockingly told me to calm down. He revealed to me that he and Xiaotang used my money to go to hotels, just so I could feel included too. Xiaotang looked at him with admiration, calling him Brother Hao. I yelled at them, calling them a despicable couple. Remembering all the money I worked so hard for over the years and gave to Ji Xiaotang, I bitterly wondered if she really used it to go to hotels, concluding that she just treated me like a walking ATM. Suddenly, the golden spear appeared in front of me. I felt an immense power surging inside me. This power definitely doesn't belong to an F-grade soul. This three-pointed, double-edged spear can't possibly be just F-grade. As I was leaving, Hao and Xiaotang appeared ahead of me, laughing. Xiaotang mockingly asked if F-grade trash like me was still loitering around. Hao added that trash should know its place and ordered me to get out of his sight. I calmly replied that those words were fit for a dog. Xiaotang snapped back angrily, saying that would be forever. Hao barked at me, asking who I was calling a dog, and then kicked me, but I blocked his kick easily. I smiled, mockingly asking him if the dog was now backed into a corner. Then Xiaotang attacked me with water power, screaming at my face and calling me worthless trash. Xiaotang screamed at me furiously, asking how I dared to dodge. She summoned her giant mermaid soul. She accused me of daring to insult her, and attacked me with intent to kill. 10 years have passed since I transmigrated into this world. I never thought this day would come, dying at someone else's hands. How I hate this. Suddenly, the Erlang Shen system activated. The system detected my extreme emotions. It gave me option 1, sever ties with Ji Xiaotang. This will awaken the primordial heavenly eye. Option 2, grovel before Ji Xiaotang. This will awaken the sense of smell of the howling, celestial dog. Of course I'll choose. But if I pick option 2, won't I just be a simp? I must choose option 1. Hesitating for even a second would be disrespectful to the heavenly eye. I took a deep breath. A golden light burst from my fist. I summoned my golden spear. Xiaotang prepped for a massive water attack. I shouted at her defiantly, wanting to see what her A rank could do. She launched her water attack, but my spear pierced right through it easily. She flew backward from the force of my strike. I followed up my attack relentlessly. She fell to the ground, defeated. She looked up at me in absolute shock. The onlookers wondered how an F-rank soul could do this. I shattered her mermaid phantom. I mocked her, whispering and belittling her A rank, adding that she's nothing special. Hao glared at me with pure rage and made a phone call to issue a bounty notice. 10,000 gold pieces for anyone who cripples me, and 20,000 for anyone who kills me. He threatened me, saying I was dead. I went to a place called the Evernight Chamber of Commerce. I learned from my system that upgrading the Heavenly Eye requires Xuanyang herb. This Heavenly Eye is insanely powerful. I wondered if the herb was too expensive. I only had a few coins left. I entered the shop and asked the shopkeeper if he had Xuanyang herb, adding that the higher the quality, the better. The merchant smiled and told me to wait. but then he saw the bounty notice on his phone. He decided he'd claim that 10,000 gold pieces. He signaled his men. A group of thugs appeared and surrounded me. I coldly asked them if this was how they treated customers. The merchant told me my legs were worth 10,000 gold pieces and ordered his men to drag me out and break my legs, reminding them to take photos as proof for the bounty. I realized Li Hao and Ji Xiaotang were behind this plot again. I summoned my power, and my spear materialized in my hand. I mocked the merchant who wanted to capture me for the reward, telling him he wasn't worthy. The thugs hesitated, but I didn't pay them any attention. Suddenly, a beautiful girl walked in. It was Cheng Xiao, the city lord's daughter. She's one of the top beauties of the Chengxiao Academy. Word is, she's even colder than Ji Xiaotang. Rumors say she's the city lord's eldest daughter. I wondered why she was here. The merchant welcomed her nervously, trying to pass the situation off as just a minor internal dispute, but she mockingly questioned him, asking what kind of chamber of commerce has minor disputes where they gang up on customers. The merchant panicked and claimed it was a misunderstanding, lying that I wanted to buy the extremely rare profound sun herb. He answered that they just wanted to verify my identity. I called out his lie, confronting him that I heard him say he would hand me over for the bounty. He cursed at me angrily, but Cheng Xiao sharply cut him off. She pointed at him with disdain. With an invisible force, he and his men flew into the air. Then she grabbed my hand and said she'd take me somewhere else to buy what I needed. She took me to a legendary black market. She explained that many items unavailable through regular channels could be bought here. I wondered why there was no one around. Suddenly, she put her hand over my mouth and told me that the black market's existence is part of maintaining the city's security, so the city lord's mansion can't easily intervene. Then she pointed somewhere and said she found the profound sun herb I wanted. The profound sun herb was of excellent quality. I asked the vendor for the price. He replied that it cost 1 million crystal coins per stalk, no bargaining. I was shocked by the price. I called it daylight robbery. With that amount, you could buy a downtown apartment. The vendor rudely shooed me away. I stood there at a loss, not knowing what to do. My total savings didn't exceed 3,000 crystal coins. I couldn't even afford a single root of this herb. But this is about the heavenly eye. I have to find a way, Cheng Xiao noticed, realizing that awakening the heavenly eye is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She pulled out a black card and ordered the vendor to swipe it. He happily complied. She bought the herb and handed it to me. I was completely dazed, and she said it was a gift for my awakening. I refused to accept it. It felt like I was taking advantage of her. But a voice in my head reminded me that this is Erlang Shen's heavenly eye, and if I miss this chance, it's gone forever. After an internal struggle, I agreed to borrow the 1,000,000 coins from her and promised to pay her back later. She told me not to worry, saying it was just pocket money to her. I thanked her for her help and offered to assist her any time. I told her I'd head back first. Before I left, she reassured me, saying she would definitely call me even if nothing happened. I returned to my room and stared at the precious herb. I couldn't believe this tiny thing cost 1,000,000 coins. I wondered how to use it. I placed the herb on my forehead and felt a power rushing into me. I realized this was how to use it. The heavenly eye activated. The heavenly eye became fully operational. I felt satisfied. Now that my heavenly eye had awakened, I decided to go back and pack my things. This place doesn't want me anymore. But there's always another place that will welcome me. As I was walking down a dark path, a group of shadows appeared. I figured things wouldn't be that simple and ordered them to come out. A bunch of men appeared around me. One of them accused me of committing a crime and ordered me to come with them. He said my crime had been exposed. Among them was Zhou Yan, a teacher from the academy. I asked him what this was about, but another student mockingly interrupted, questioning my right to question a teacher when I'm just trash. The teacher ordered me to cut the crap. They told me to come with them quietly. Zhou Yan was with Li Feng. I realized Li Hao's bounty scheme was causing trouble again, and I sneered at them. If you want the bounty soul stones, just say it straight. No need to act. The teacher looked down on me with contempt and unleashed an immense power that shattered the ground. He called me worthless F-rank trash and said I didn't know what's good for me. He tried to attack me, but I dodged it easily. The heavenly eye showed that he had a hidden divine rank. I summoned my spear and attacked him. He was shocked by my power, wondering how this was possible, saying this power couldn't come from an F rank. He stamped his foot, powerfully smashing the ground, and I shouted, "Shatter!" My spear pierced his defense and shattered his divine rank. He spat blood and collapsed. He screamed in pain because his divine rank was completely destroyed. The other students were stunned by my power, wondering how teacher Zhou Yan was no match for me. I looked down at them with disdain, and they fled in terror. I smirked. What a bunch of cowards. I never expected that even teachers would go after bounties. I swore vengeance on Li Hao. I will remember this debt. Suddenly, a side quest activated. The quest was to slaughter 200 demonic beasts, and the reward was a basic talisman. I saw this as the perfect opportunity to gain combat experience. As for my belongings in the dorm, I decided to ditch them. Elsewhere, Li Hao was chewing out his men. How could they fail to capture me despite their large numbers? His man begged him to calm down, saying I was definitely plotting something, and reassured him. According to their scouts' intel, I had already headed towards Flame Mountain. Hao wondered why I went there alone. His man reminded him that the flame tigers in Flame Mountain are low-level magical beasts, but they're incredibly annoying opponents. People usually go in teams. For an F-rank weakling to go train there alone, isn't that just suicide? Hao smiled cunningly. In a cave, I was fighting the flame tigers. These tigers were just low-tier magical beasts, but they were tough to beat. I was fighting fiercely, but they just kept coming endlessly. I landed a powerful blow. I killed a ton of them. But the cave started collapsing. A massive boulder fell, right on me. The rock was incredibly heavy. After tossing the rock off, I stood among the tigers' corpses. I thought I wiped them all out, and that it was finally over. But I was wrong. Another flame tiger appeared. Then it let out a powerful roar, and another pack of tigers showed up. I panicked. They were shooting fire from their mouths. I fought them fiercely while trying to escape. After beating the small ones, the big ones showed up. I stopped running to gear up and face them. My system showed I killed 198 out of 200 monsters. But more tigers were still chasing me. I got furious and prepared to fight them with everything I had. I killed another tiger with a single strike, only one left. Upon completing the mission, the reward was the mountain-splitting strike. My eyes flared with energy, and I shouted the name of the new skill. My spear unleashed a massive power, wiping out all the remaining tigers in a powerful explosion. I stood victorious among the beasts' corpses. I realized that even though Mountain Splitting Strike uses an axe, my three-pointed spear works just fine. I just broke through to rank 2, and it's time to go back and prove myself. I announced my return. In front of the Heavenly Vanguard Academy, Li Hao was reassuring Xiao Tang. He told her I overestimated myself and fled to Beacon Fire Mountain, and there's still no word from me. I must be dead. Xiao Tang praised him for getting rid of me, saying it was way too easy. Hao smugly agreed. He wondered how F-grade trash like me could ever compare to him. Suddenly, Xiao Tang saw me coming. She wondered how I made it back alive. Hao shouted my name in shock, but he quickly regained his composure, reassuring her that I must have barely survived and was probably crippled. He blamed Li Feng for failing to kill me in the ambush, even messing up the intel, saying such trash needs to be dealt with. Hao mockingly called out to me, wondering how I didn't die on Beacon Fire Mountain. Xiao Tang interrupted, saying she figured it out, calling me a coward who probably just stayed at the edge of the mountain and ran away. I mockingly asked her if she was done talking crap. She was shocked, angrily asking what I just called her. I told her she's not just a chatterbox, she also has Alzheimer's. I turned to Hao and said it's pathetic he ended up with such a big mouth. I added that she's also a trashy bitch with Alzheimer's. Xiao Tang lost her mind with rage. She swore to rip my mouth apart. I summoned my spear and challenged her not to waste time. Let's settle this with skill. In the dueling arena, news of my challenge to Ji Xiaotang spread like wildfire. The students wondered how I dared challenge her when I was expelled, especially since she awakened an A-rank divine soul. Wasn't I completely overestimating myself? Even the VIPs in the stands wondered about it. The match seemed like a done deal, like I was practically begging for humiliation. In the dueling arena, Cheng Xiao was worried. She heard I was ambushed last night, and had even gone to Beacon Fire Mountain. And today, I was facing Ji Xiaotang head-on. She anxiously called out my name, warning me to be careful. Xiaotang offered me a chance to kneel and beg for mercy, saying she might let me leave in one piece. My eyes burned with anger. I asked her how I never realized all these years that she loved being this shameless. She snapped, claiming she hadn't used her real power last time, and that I only beat her by luck. Since you're so arrogant, just wait for your death. She unleashed her full power, preparing to cast Deep Sea Elegy. Facing her massive water attack, the crowd was amazed by the power of her A-rank. Even Cheng Xiao looked worried about me from the stands, vowing revenge if anything happened to me. But I smirked at her pathetic show, and summoned my great golden spear. With a single move, I unleashed an overwhelming force. My attack sliced through her giant wave with ease. In an instant, I had my spear at her throat. The referee declared me the winner. Xiao Tang couldn't believe she lost. With one final push, I slammed her to the ground. She collapsed unconscious on the arena floor. Li Hao screamed her name from the stands in a rage, swearing to kill me. Then he unleashed his S-grade lightning energy. Everyone in the arena thought I was done for, since he was one of the 2 strongest people in the entire academy. But Cheng Xiao leaped down from the stands to defend me. She landed in the arena to challenge him. She asked Li Hao if he wanted to fight her, telling him she'd be his opponent. But Li Hao ignored her and told her to back off. She snapped at him to shut up and fight. The onlookers began questioning my true identity, wondering how the City Lord's daughter was defending me. This was a showdown nobody expected. 2 S-ranks were about to clash, and all of this because of me. Li Hao took the chance to mock me, calling me a coward hiding behind a woman. He threatened that I'd stay hidden forever. His words infuriated Cheng Xiao. Their energies clashed in a violent explosion, but I stepped forward and stopped Cheng Xiao. This was my fight. Then I pointed my spear at Li Hao, daring him to face death. Li Hao laughed, saying he hadn't fought seriously in a while, and summoned his lightning dragon soul. A young guy suddenly appeared and grabbed Cheng Xiao's hand to stop her from stepping in. She demanded he give her one good reason. The guy revealed he was her little brother, telling her this was a battle between men, and that her interference would hurt my pride and give me inner demons. Her face turned red with embarrassment, and she told him to stop calling me brother-in-law. He kept teasing her, saying he knew what was in her heart. But she looked at me anxiously, and reminded him that Li Hao was an S-grade awakener. But her brother urged her to trust her judgment, and trust the man she chose, adding that if I couldn't overcome this hurdle, how could I ever be worthy of her? She was convinced by his words and decided to trust me. Then she turned to me, telling me to call for help if things went south, promising she'd protect me and won't let anyone hurt me. At that moment, I realized just how much she cared about me. I reassured her with a smile, confidently telling her he couldn't hurt me. Then Li Hao laughed out loud, saying that without the Chung family's protection, I'm just F-grade trash. He wondered how I dared to challenge him. I coldly cut him off and ordered him to die. He unleashed his full S-grade Grace Dragon soul. The crowd was stunned to see the legendary dragon. As for me, I smirked. The warm-up wasn't even enough. I announced that playtime was over. I dashed forward with unbelievable speed, leaving him dazed. He couldn't comprehend where this sudden, immense power came from. Then I shouted my attack's name, Mountain-Splitting Strike. He was shocked as my attack blasted him backward. Li Hao couldn't believe the power I displayed. He claimed that someone F-grade like me shouldn't have this power, insisting I didn't deserve it. His rage flared up as he cursed, threatening that I brought this on myself. In desperation, he swallowed a mysterious pill that massively boosted his strength. His energy exploded, completely transforming his appearance. The crowd noticed his aura jumped to level 2. Facing a level 2 awakener, everyone thought my death was certain. Someone noticed he used a forbidden potion, but his friend shut him up, fearing they'd expose Li Hao. Xiao Tang regained consciousness and cheered Li Hao on, furious that I dared to strike her. With his new power, she ordered him to kill me. I mockingly wondered if he was about to break through to level 2. I've defeated levels way higher than this, so why would I fear his pathetic level 2? Then, I shouted, "Open heavenly eye!" A beam of light shot from my forehead and pierced through his body. Despite his injury, he roared my name and swore to kill me. He lunged at me with all his might. But I met him with my spear, piercing right through his defense. He desperately tried to throw a punch at me. I blocked it and struck him back even harder. He couldn't believe how this was happening, and with a powerful kick, I sent him crashing into the wall where he collapsed. I stood victorious in the arena, and mockingly asked, "Is this all an S-rank can do?" The crowd was shell-shocked, unable to believe young Master Li was defeated, wondering how I beat an S-grade awakener. They even wondered if I was secretly an S-rank too. Xiao Tang couldn't believe what happened, furious that a loser like me actually won. Even the teachers were stunned, wondering if they had misjudged me. One of them admitted he never expected such a powerful hidden contender. They regretted expelling me, while Cheng Xiao stepped forward to congratulate me. She said I proved myself flawlessly. I thanked her, saying the credit goes to her, because without the money she lent me, I wouldn't be where I am now. And I promised her I'd pay back the 1 million coin loan as soon as possible. But she turned it down with a smile, saying she didn't need to be paid back. But I mentally insisted that what's spent must be repaid. Her brother interrupted, scolding her for stalling, warning her that another Xiao Tang might steal me away. Suddenly, the academy dean came down from the stands. He praised my achievement and I humbly thanked him. He said it's amazing that at such a young age I possess power that surpasses an S-grade, and expressed his belief that I would bring glory to the academy. I thanked him for the compliment but reminded him that I was no longer their student. I was expelled at yesterday's awakening ceremony. The dean shamelessly denied it, claiming the academy never abandons its students and that I was mistaken. He then welcomed me back at any time. I thought to myself, what a hypocrite. That expulsion would have never happened without his implicit approval. I thanked him again but told him I had no intention of returning for now. The dean showed regret over my decision, but he moved on to warn me, reminding me that Li Hao is the son of the Li family head, and he's now out of commission, and that his family might seek revenge against me. He put his hand on my shoulder and asked me to think it over carefully. Without the academy's protection, how will you survive being hunted by the most powerful family in the city? The crowd agreed with the dean's logic, knowing the Li family is the richest and most powerful, and without the academy's protection, they all agreed my end would be catastrophic. Even though the dean was annoying, I admitted his words made sense. Facing the Li family right now would definitely be tough, but Cheng Xiao interrupted the situation, reminding everyone of the city lord's mansion's existence. Cheng Xiao declared that the Li family wouldn't dare touch me, but the dean didn't realize at first that she represented the city lord's mansion, wondering why she was there. The dean looked down on her, calling her just a woman and claiming she couldn't make decisions for the city lord's mansion, but her brother stepped in to correct him. He flat out told him he was wrong and confirmed that his sister's stance was the city lord's mansion stance. The crowd was shocked, realizing that this was the young master of the city. The dean broke into a sweat when he realized the young master was there too. He knew he was the city lord's only son, making him way more important than even Li Hao. The dean tried to backpedal, claiming he meant well and saying that as long as I was under the mansion's protection, there was no need to worry about me. Suddenly Ji Xiaotang showed up, calling my name. I mocked her, saying my kick wasn't hard enough. Wondering how she got up so fast, she screamed at me in a rage. She claimed she knew I was still mad at her. She shamelessly claimed that what she did was just a test of my loyalty, reminding me of our 10 years together. She asked if I doubted her love, then told me to beg her, and maybe she'd consider taking me back. I completely ignored her while she kept screaming, "Did you hear me?" I pretended to clean out my ear, saying, "Sorry, I thought you were just an annoying mosquito." I coldly asked her what she said, making her absolutely explode with rage. Out of her mind, she said she knew I still loved her, and even claimed she forgave me too. She repeated her shameless demand for me to beg her, just beg her out loud for everyone to hear, and she'd think about renewing our engagement. Losing my patience, I snapped at her to drop her ego. I ordered her to get out of my sight, warning her that if she uttered another word, I wouldn't hesitate to beat her, and I summoned my spear. She stared at me in shock and fury, but she ran away in fear when she saw I was dead serious. I turned to Cheng Xiao and her brother to thank them for their help, but she smiled and said it was nothing, that it was her duty to help me. Then she curiously asked about my plans for the future. She softly called my name. Realizing she was calling me, I wondered why her tone suddenly sounded so intimate. I replied that I'd take things step by step. The world is huge, and there's no way I won't find a place in it. Then her brother told me to go to their father, Cheng Weijun, if I ever faced any trouble. He told me to just mention his name and I'd get help. Somewhere else, Li Hao's father was telling his son to rest. He revealed that his divine core was cracked, warning him that this would affect his future progress. But Li Hao refused to accept defeat. He screamed that he wanted me dead. His father reassured him, revealing that he had already sent assassins to get rid of me. He couldn't believe a newly awakened piece of trash like me could survive. He told him a stage 5 assassin was on my way. Li Hao rejoiced upon hearing this, and his father confirmed the news with a sly smile. That night, I was lying in my room, thinking about today's chaos. I felt like I owed Cheng Xiao another favor. These kinds of debts are the hardest to repay. I joked to myself that maybe I should just offer myself to her. Then I caught myself, wondering why I was having such wild thoughts. I heard a voice calling from outside the door. It was room service. But something felt off, so I summoned my spear. The room service voice called out again. I prepped for an attack as I headed toward the door. The door suddenly exploded from a purple energy blast. I barely blocked the hit, but the force of the blast threw me across the room. I slammed onto the floor in pain. An assassin appeared at the door, surprised I was still alive. I realized this guy's power was way beyond Zhou Yan's. He mocked me, saying I had pretty good endurance. I tried to get up, estimating his strength. Stage 4? No. I realized the horrific truth. He's at stage 5. The assassin told me someone paid to have me killed, and asked if I had any last words before I died. I forced myself up, knowing full well the Li family sent him. He called me smart. The assassin mocked me, saying I was just a commoner, wondering why I didn't just stay a worthless piece of trash. Then he blamed me for provoking young Master Li, emphasizing that I brought this on myself. He then declared it was time to send me down to the underworld. I agreed with him, telling him he was right. It was time to go down. With a sudden move, I smashed the window and jumped out. The assassin was shocked by my reckless move. He launched a swift attack at me. Lightning energy pierced my body as I fell. He looked out the broken window, realizing we were on the 8th floor. He couldn't believe I jumped from that height. Thinking I wasn't afraid of being crushed to death, he smiled cunningly, finding me interesting, then leaped after me without hesitation. I sprinted through the city streets trying to escape, but he chased me effortlessly from the rooftops. I realized this guy was insanely fast. He could have caught up to me at any moment, but he was intentionally staying behind me. He was enjoying the hunt, thinking he had me cornered. He fired long-range attacks to force me to dodge. As I ran, I thought about how serious they were, how generous of them. To send all this for me, just a stage 2 fighter. They literally sent a stage 5 assassin. I swore vengeance on Li Hao, promising to remember this debt. Meanwhile, the assassin got bored. Thinking I wasn't a fun opponent after all, he decided to end it quickly, and lunged at me to launch his final strike. I spun around and raised my spear to block him. Our weapons clashed in a burst of sparks. From the impact, his sword got embedded in a nearby wall. Right then, he unleashed his divine soul, a massive purple lightning serpent. It struck me, with insane force, blasting me away, and slamming me into a wall, leaving me defeated on the ground. He stood over me, declaring that the end had come. The game of cat and mouse is over. He advised me to be more careful in my next life and never anger people I shouldn't anger again. As I lay bleeding on the ground, I thought all of this was happening just because I defended myself against Li Hao. The Li family is using all their power to hunt me down. I screamed in rage. This world is truly unfair. I gripped my spear tightly, refusing to accept this fate. At that moment, a vision of a man and a woman flashed through my mind, fleeing from celestial soldiers. The woman was crying in despair. This mysterious memory ignited something inside me. A pillar of golden light erupted from my body, blowing the assassin away. He crashed to the ground in total shock. Panicked, he wondered, what is happening? I stood up, surrounded by a glowing golden aura. I realized this was the power of Erlang Shen. Ancient words echoed in my head, ending with a single powerful word, fight. My system announced, congratulations, resonance has occurred between you and Yang Jian. You have obtained a 30-second trial of summoning God Yang. I screamed with all my might, summon the Holy Lord of pure origin. The third eye on my forehead opened. I completely transformed, donning a divine golden armor, and my spear changed into a legendary weapon. The assassin stared at me in terror as he felt my power leap through stage 3, 4, and 5, and it kept climbing all the way to stage 6. He screamed in disbelief, saying this was impossible, jumping from stage 2 to stage 6 all at once. With a divine voice, I ordered him to shut up. The assassin trembled with fear, accusing me of cheating. He refused to believe anyone could break through 6 stages all at once. Then he attacked me with all his strength. I met his attack head-on and opened my heavenly eye. A golden beam shot from my forehead, clashing directly with his attack. The massive explosion obliterated everything around us. The assassin was sent flying through the air, spitting blood. He looked at me, asking with his last breath who I was. I looked down at him coldly, enveloped in a divine aura. He collapsed onto the ground, begging for mercy, admitting he was wrong and asking for my forgiveness. In his desperation, he shrieked that Li Hong was the one who sent him and ordered it, and that all of this was Li Hong's fault alone. Then I unleashed my soul. A beam of light erupted from my third eye. The golden light completely consumed the assassin, turning his body into ashes that faded into thin air. Right then, my golden armor began to fade, and I returned to my normal form. Suddenly, I heard Cheng Xiao's voice calling my name. She was running toward me with food in her hands. She whispered to herself that to win a man's heart, you have to win his stomach first. She wondered if I'd like the dishes she prepared. She smiled to herself confidently, but when she saw my glowing figure from a distance, she realized it was me. She screamed anxiously when she saw I was in danger. She dropped the food from her hand and rushed toward me at full speed. Just then, my power completely vanished, and I collapsed onto the ground unconscious. Cheng Xiao arrived, screaming my name in a panic. She summoned her soul, the Ice Phoenix, to catch me. She caught me mid-air before I hit the ground. She held me tight, crying and asking who hurt me. I completely blacked out in her arms. She begged me to hold on, promising she'd find someone to treat me immediately. But before she could move, she tried to help me up. Suddenly, her father appeared and called her name. It was the city lord himself, reassuring her that I was fine. She turned to him in surprise, asking why he was there. He replied that the commotion was huge, so he came to check things out for himself. Then he asked her to put me down. She complied and gently laid me down. The city lord examined me with his energy, telling her my injuries weren't serious. I was just exhausted and a bit weak, and I'd be fine after some rest at home. Cheng Xiao sighed in relief. Then she angrily told her father that the Li family attacked us. He told her he had already heard about the trouble between them and me. He reassured her not to worry, promising he'd handle the whole thing. She smiled at him in relief, but he told her that once this was over, she had to go to Yandu as soon as possible. She anxiously asked about my fate, but he firmly cut her off, telling her the matter was decided. She sighed in sadness. Meanwhile, at the Li family mansion, one of the servants rushed to the family master, telling him something terrible had happened. The master scolded him for making a scene, calling his behavior disgraceful. The servant apologized. Then, with a trembling voice, he announced that Elder Li Xing was dead. The master jumped from his seat in shock, calling the news nonsense. He couldn't believe Li Xing could die, but the servant tearfully confirmed it, telling him the elder's soul lamp in the ancestral hall had gone out. Master Li shouted in absolute disbelief. Then he regained his composure and ordered the servant to leave. The servant bowed and left the room. Li Hao woke up from the commotion and asked what was going on. His father told him about Elder Li Xing's death, admitting he had sent the elder to kill me. Li Hao was shocked. The elder was a stage 5 fighter. He wondered who in the entire Kanglan city could possibly kill him. His father replied with a sarcastic smile, noting that our city lord is a stage 6 expert. Li Hao started to understand what his father was hinting at. His father explained that Cheng Xiao had a crush on me, which was no longer a secret, and her father, Cheng Guqiang, is known for completely doting on his daughter, so it wasn't impossible for him to step in and save me. Then he scolded his son, saying all of this was due to his incompetence. If he had won Chengxiao's heart, they wouldn't be facing all this trouble. The servant burst into the room again, shouting, and informed the family head that another disaster had struck. The family head angrily asked him what happened. The panicked servant told him that the city lord had arrived. The family head couldn't believe his ears, and angrily wondered how he dared come to him before he even made a move. Then he told his son to get some good rest. He promised him he'd be back soon, then left to confront the city lord. In his room, Li Hao was screaming in anger. Groaning in pain, he wondered how I wasn't dead yet. He shouted, saying he hated this situation. In the meeting hall, the city lord was waiting. Then the Li family head welcomed the city lord with a fake smile, saying he hadn't seen him in a long time. He apologized for failing to welcome him properly, but the city lord sharply cut him off and told him to skip the formalities. He told him he came because of the kid, Chen Feng. Meanwhile, I woke up in a luxurious bedroom. I realized what happened, and thought about how bad luck had brought me such good fortune. I had upgraded to rank 3. I couldn't believe it. My power just awakened, even though I took some shortcuts. If others knew how fast I progressed, the whole country would be shocked. I smiled to myself, calling myself a true genius. Chengxiao entered the room carrying a bowl of soup. She cheered up when she saw me awake. I asked her if she was the one who brought me here and if this was her house. I tried to get up, but she gently stopped me and told me to rest. She offered me hot medicine. I hesitated to drink it. She snapped at me, saying bitter medicine is what heals. She ordered me to drink it right now, so I gave in and drank it. I swallowed the medicine reluctantly. It tasted incredibly bitter. I asked her why she was staring at me. She softly called my name and told me her father learned about the conflict between me and the Li family, and that he went to meet them while I was unconscious. He tried to settle the dispute between us, and the Li family agreed, but on the condition that I face one of their family members in a fair duel. I exploded in anger. Conditions? How dare they set conditions? I swore that if I weren't weaker than them right now, I would have killed them all that night. I glared at her, asking when I ever agreed to settle with them. She said she understood my point, but ending animosity is harder than starting it. She explained that this duel was just for show, a way to save face for both sides. She begged me for her father's sake to agree to the duel. I sighed and agreed to show up for the fight, but I assured her that this wouldn't end my conflict with the Li family. On the day of the duel, the arena was packed with crowds. The Li family head told the city lord that time was almost up, and that I hadn't shown up yet, accusing him of helping me escape. The city lord angrily shot back, telling him to watch his words. Then he told him to wait a bit. The Li family head laughed, saying he ran out of patience. At that exact moment, I entered the arena, with Chengxiao right by my side. One of the onlookers pointed at me, calling me the hero of the day, the trash who awakened an F-grade divine frame. Another mocked him, saying I was just trash, wondering how I could beat an S-grade young master, claiming I must have used dirty tricks. Another noticed how close Chengxiao was to me, wondering if the city lord's mansion was targeting the Li family. Suddenly, Ji Xiaotang appeared with a group of students. She screamed at my face, "Chen Feng, you F-grade trash. You hurt young Master Li. How dare you show up here?" Her lackeys agreed with her, accusing me of using underhanded methods, and that it was the only way I could defeat their young master. They told me I'd be dead by the end of the match. Chengxiao shouted a warning to me. I gripped my golden spear, completely ready. I challenged the Li family to step up and face me, shouting at them to come forward and face death. The Li family head chuckled softly, then announced the arrival of an important guest in the city. This guest was the great Commander Qin, and he told us he was interested in watching this match. City Lord Cheng Guqiang welcomed him with absolute respect. The crowd was shocked to hear Commander Qin's name. He was a legendary figure. He was one of the 7 commanders who answer only to kings. He was also a legendary rank 8 fighter. Even Ji Xiaotang wondered why he was here. Nobody believed a figure like him would care about a simple match. Ji Xiaotang wondered what I had to attract the attention of someone so important. But it turned out the Li family invited him. I realized this was the powerful backer the Li family relied on. Is this their support in the capital, Yandu? His appearance now meant nothing but trouble. He's definitely here to cause trouble. But Commander Qin claimed he was just passing by, and heard about this interesting match, so he decided to take a look. He asked everyone to ignore his presence, but sat straight in the seat of honor without hesitation. His words were nice, but his actions proved he was here to support the Li family. The city lord understood it was a clear message, and declared his submission to the commander's orders. Then the Li family head called out my opponent, Li Gao, to step forward. Since both of us were present, the city lord officially declared the start of the match. The city lord thought to himself that he did everything he could, and the rest was up to me. Li Gao mocked me, saying I looked weak and fragile. And with these delicate features, your flesh must taste delicious. The crowd recognized him. It was Li Gao, the Li family prodigy from 8 years ago. He had awakened a powerful A-grade divine spark. But after the city guard heard about his violent nature, they imprisoned him. Nobody expected him to be released now. I prepped for battle and told him to get ready to die. He laughed hysterically and said he loved fiery types like me. Then he merged with his divine soul, the Black Wolf. Someone in the crowd shouted that this was divine fusion, a skill only rank 4 masters could pull off. And with this fusion, his power multiplies exponentially. It looked like I was finished, but I found it interesting. I wondered why they sent a rank 4 fighter to face me. The Lee family head was furious at my overconfidence, but Commander Chin found it amusing and told him to keep watching. I challenged him to show me what a rank 4 fight looks like. Li Gao laughed and told me I only made one mistake, letting him finish his divine fusion. He surrounded himself with a thick black mist, claiming nobody could track him inside. Nobody? All this time, he was an assassination specialist and used the dark element, but his bad luck brought him right into my path. This was unfortunate for him. I saw Cheng Xiao looking at me anxiously, wishing for my safe return. One of the onlookers mocked me, wondering if I was an idiot since I stepped right into his domain myself. Maybe he's trying to frame the Li family. I really was F-grade material. Trash will always be trash. I saw Ji Xiaotang feeling relieved that she was no longer with me. She must be happy she didn't stick with me, because staying with such trash would get her killed one day. Li Gao thought I had a death wish, wondering how I dared barge into his domain like that. I cut off his chatter, saying I only had one question. I asked him if this black mist of his was transparent to light. He burst out laughing, wondering if I was joking, for this is the innate ability of his divine soul. Once inside, without his permission, not a single beam of light escapes. Open, heavenly eye. A golden beam shot from my forehead, exposing all the darkness. I dashed forward with all my might. My opponent unleashed a volley of sharp shards at me, but I blocked his attack with my spear effortlessly. I leaped high and shouted, "Mountain-splitting strike!" Li Gao slammed hard onto the ground from the force of my crushing blow. He tried to get up but was severely injured. The crowd wondered about the match's outcome. They didn't understand why we stopped moving. A Li family lackey mocked the situation, claiming I was frozen in fear, reminding them that Li Gao is rank 4. Suddenly, I spat blood from my mouth. Commander Chin smiled in admiration, saying I was interesting. Cheng Xiao anxiously called my name. Smiles spread across the faces of the Li family members. I dropped to my knees, bleeding heavily. Cheng Xiao screamed my name in a panic. Ji Xiaotang said with contempt that I was useless, wondering how I could ever be a match for a rank 4 fighter, deciding I was either dead or crippled. The crowd shouted that the result was expected, declaring that I lost and calling me a loser. They demanded I get off the stage and even kneel at the Li family ancestral hall. I admitted to myself that I underestimated the power of rank 4. The Li family head thought he finally crushed me, that this is the fate of anyone who opposes them. The city lord doubted that this was all my strength, and decided that if that's the case, so be it. It's better for me to die so I don't ruin his daughter Xiao Xiao's future. But suddenly, everyone saw how my rank 4 opponent was killed. They wondered about my true power level. Did his power just awaken? This is impossible, we must be seeing things. I blasted him away with a powerful strike from my spear, and he fell to the ground, a lifeless corpse. The crowd was completely shell-shocked. Ji Xiaotang couldn't believe I actually won. I smirked. Rank 4? Is that it? The Li family head sat in silence, consumed by rage. Everyone wondered how I won again. Ji Xiaotang realized I was a promising person, wondering with regret why she broke off our engagement. The Li family head threatened me, saying I was looking for death, but Commander Chin stopped him, declaring that it was interesting. The family head whispered in his ear that my name is Chen Feng. Commander Chin stood up and praised my talent and potential, saying he liked me. Then he asked me to apologize, and he would recruit me into his Black Iron Army. The crowd was shocked by this offer. How could he recruit F-grade trash into this legendary army? For this army is one of the strongest elite forces in the capital, and the minimum rank to join is rank 5. Legends say this army wiped out 3 neighboring kingdoms all by itself, and I know they've guarded the northwest for 30 years. And now their commander took a liking to me. Ji Xiaotang thought to herself that if she hadn't broken off our engagement, she might have joined the Black Iron Army too. Everyone thought I had hit the jackpot. The Li family head ordered me to kneel and show respect. I thanked the commander for his offer. The commander said it didn't matter, that it's natural for geniuses to be proud, and allowed me to leave. Everyone realized his army is the pillar of the kingdom, and the Li family's influence doesn't reach there. With that, my life was safe for now. I said I appreciated Commander Chin's recognition, but apologizing to the Li family is absolutely impossible. The commander sharply asked me if I was rejecting his offer, and if I knew how many people dream of joining his army, only to be cruelly rejected. He ordered me to kneel and apologize now, and he'd let bygones be bygones. I replied, "It's not that I'm unwilling, but I can't. A true man lives between heaven and earth, seeking nothing but peace of mind." The commander roared angrily, "Good, good," and mocked me, calling me a true man. Then he grabbed my shoulder, questioning the peace of mind I spoke of. Suddenly, a new voice spoke up, telling the commander that his level had dropped over the years. The commander recognized her in shock. Yi Ningguang! Cheng Xiao happily called out to her. Master! A white-haired woman appeared in the ring, holding a blue lightning sword. Commander Qin looked pissed at this sudden interruption. Cheng Xiao's master stood in front of me to protect me from him. The commander questioned the meaning of this move. She declared that I was under her protection. The commander was surprised that she was protecting me, and asked if that broke the rules, since the selection trials hadn't even started yet, and here she was already trying to snatch me for the Shinshu Academy. He called her very bold. I wondered about this Shinshu Academy. The crowd explained that it's the #1 academy in the country. Its status is even higher than the Xuanjia army. They wondered if I was really going to join it, and that a master from there personally chose me. Master Yi strictly declared that her sword makes the rules, and challenged him if he had any objection. Otherwise, he'd have to face a strike from her sword first. Commander Qin laughed and told her, "Well done, Yi Ningguang." Then he added sarcastically, "And well done, Shinshu Academy." And he left, swearing he wouldn't forget this. Cheng Xiao happily ran toward her master and hugged her warmly, happy that her master had come. The master told her she came because Xiao Xiao hadn't shown up at the academy yet, so she came looking for her. Xiao Xiao apologized, saying she was busy. Her master called her a troublemaker and joked that she knew her well. Xiao Xiao giggled and told her master she was the best. The city lord interrupted us, saying he imagined they had a lot to talk about, and invited them to his mansion. Master Yi recognized him and accepted the invitation. The city lord ordered his daughter to take her master to the mansion. Xiao Xiao agreed, then told her, "Let's go." The master ordered her to bring me along too. I was surprised, wondering if she meant me. Later we sat in the mansion, and the master said she had an idea of what happened, and that she already knew how events unfolded. Then she praised Xiao Xiao for her good choice. He reached rank 3 at this age and has the ability to kill those stronger than him. She concluded that I was indeed a genius, but she turned to Xiao Xiao and said her talent was obvious. So why was she still stuck at rank 2? Xiao Xiao said she should have gone to Yan capital earlier, admitting her mistake and promising to head back there immediately. Xiao Xiao thought to herself that if she had gone, she would have missed me. Her master asked her why, then called her a naive girl. Then Master Yi asked me if I had made up my mind. "Will you take me as your master and join the Divine Pivot Palace?" I thought about her immense power and status. Becoming her disciple seemed totally worth it. Besides, if I refused, Cheng Xiao would be in an awkward spot. I bowed respectfully and said, "Master, I bow to you. Please accept this disciple's loyalty." Cheng Xiao cheered with pure joy. Her master cleared her throat to calm her down, saying it was getting late, and ordered me to go pack my things as we were leaving for the Divine Pivot Palace tonight. I agreed immediately. I was amazed by the sheer scale of the Divine Pivot Palace. The master ordered Xiao Xiao to go settle in first, and that she was taking me with her for a certain matter. Xiao Xiao agreed. Xiao Xiao whispered to me that the master has a sharp tongue but a kind heart, and that she's actually really sweet. Her master called out to her sharply, so Xiao Xiao hurried away. I asked my new master where we were going. She reminded me that she accepted me as her disciple, and that I was now a member of the Divine Pivot Palace, but she said my F-grade divine soul was too weak and didn't fit this place. Furthermore, as her disciple, I had to prove my strength to earn others' respect. Otherwise, people would think I'm just relying on Xiao Xiao's connections. I realized I had to show off my abilities. My master emphasized that I had to prove myself, then asked me to participate in the martial arts tournament. I had to reach at least the top 3, and she told me the prizes for the top 3 were massive, and the first place prize could help me get a heaven-defying treasure to upgrade my divine soul. I agreed immediately. She handed me a token and ordered me to go to the examiner to sign up for the martial arts tournament. Then she left, leaving me all alone in the square. A treasure to boost my divine soul. That's really interesting. But on the other hand, as the successor of the great Master Yi, having an initial F-grade rating is absolutely unacceptable. Suddenly my system detected that I had started an invincible path and developed a fearless heart, unlocking a side quest for me. Win first place in the martial arts tournament. Reward, 72 transformations. I was shocked. The 72 transformations? That's God Erlang Shen's signature technique. Legends say he achieved sainthood through physical training, and this technique played a crucial role in that. I decided I would seize first place without fail. I walked up to the examiner and greeted him, telling him I was here to register for the tournament. He looked at me with contempt, wondering where this villager came from, and told me to get out of his face, claiming I didn't even understand what this tournament was. He wondered how I dared to participate. I mockingly asked him, "Isn't it a martial arts tournament, just like the name says? What else could it be?" One of the onlookers burst out laughing. He told me I had no clue, because this tournament gathers the top talents from everywhere. These geniuses fight in fierce elimination rounds, and only the absolute best are entitled to compete. It's not an open event for just anyone to register. The onlookers wondered why I was here and how the guards even let me in. The guard yelled at me, ordering me to get out immediately, emphasizing that this wasn't a place for people like me. I wondered if registration wasn't required, and if my master had been messing with me the whole time. Then I pulled out the token she gave me. and handed it to the guard, whose expression instantly flipped. His face turned into a mask of shock and fear. He started stammering out an apology, never expecting me to be Master Yi Siming's disciple. He said it was like an offense against one of their own family. I cut him off with a direct question. Can I join the tournament? He enthusiastically replied, yes, of course you can. Then he respectfully invited me inside. The onlookers clapped for me as I entered the arena. Someone wondered if they heard right. Master Yi Siming's disciple? Didn't they say she only had one disciple? Did she take another one? But this is Master Yi Siming, one of the 3 lords of the Divine Pivot Office. The guard explained to me that this was the tournament preparation area, and prominent awakeners from all over the country had gathered here to compete in the final round. The winners would qualify for the Divine Pivot Office. Then he asked me to wait for a moment. The martial arts tournament was about to begin. As expected of the Divine Pivot Office, it really is on another level. But I heard someone mock me. How can a villager like him be here? To participate in the Divine Pivot Office trial conference, concluding that the office was getting worse. Since even someone looking like a beggar could enter, I got it. Even in Yan City there are people like this. They think of themselves as superior celestial dragons. Suddenly the examiner shouted, ordering everyone to shut up, and announced the start of the tournament. This year's tournament will use a point-based scoring system. Every time you kill a magical beast, points will be awarded based on its rank. You'll get the corresponding points. The rarity and rankings will determine it, and the top 100 can enter the Shinshu Palace, and the top 10 can choose their masters. Most importantly, killing other participants is strictly forbidden. Everyone was surprised. They'd be hunting magical beasts. The onlookers mocked me, finding the tournament exciting, sneeringly wondering if a villager like me had ever killed a magical beast before. They hoped I wouldn't pee myself out of fear at the sight of the first monster, and they all laughed out loud. I wondered to myself why I see these arrogant pricks everywhere. They're like a swarm of annoying flies. Then the tournament officially started, and we were all transported to the trial dimension. Meanwhile, my master was watching me from afar. She had asked me not to let her and Xiao Xiao down. I found myself in a dense forest after being teleported, and wondered where exactly I ended up. Suddenly I felt a surprise attack. It was an ambush from a stealthy monster, but unluckily for it, it picked the wrong person. I decided it would be my first target for today. The beast fully revealed itself. It was a giant ape. I counted myself lucky, running into a magical beast so fast. I summoned my spear and decided to test its power. I needed to gauge the level of the monsters in this trial dimension. It was a rank 2 beast, perfect for a start. It leaped toward me with insane speed. I launched an attack, but it dodged skillfully. It soared through the air, heading straight for me. As expected of an ape-type beast, its agility was truly impressive. But I realized this approach wouldn't work, so I decided to use the Heavenly Eye. I summoned Erlang Shen's power and transformed. With the power of my eye, I ordered it to freeze in place. The beam of light hit the beast, locking it mid-air. Looks like its resistance to the Heavenly Eye was practically zero. I seized the chance and leaped at it without hesitation. I thrust my spear right through its chest for a fatal blow. I returned to my normal form after it was wiped out. I felt like killing a rank 2 beast was no different from slaughtering a chicken. As I was moving forward, a voice suddenly stopped me. 3 guys appeared in front of me and demanded I show respect to their young master Qin. I looked at them in confusion, wondering who this master even was. One of them figured out I wasn't from the capital, Yandu, and they mocked me for not knowing young master Qin. They called me a clueless villager. One explained that their master is Commander Qin's son. Then they ordered me to kneel and apologize to him immediately, but their master interrupted, acting humble. He mockingly asked if I thought he was the type to brag about having a commander uncle, continuing his act of pretending to be modest and that he never boasts about his lineage. His hypocritical lackeys immediately showered him with praise. I coldly asked them which circus these clowns escaped from. Young Master Qin didn't get what I meant at first. One of his goons whispered to him that I was calling them clowns. Furious, he shoved his lackey away and shouted, claiming he obviously knew that. Then he stepped toward me seriously and offered to let me join his team. His only condition was that I give him all the points I collect so he could secure a spot in the top 10. In return, he promised his commander uncle would arrange a backup position for me in the Black Shield Army. His lackeys surged over to thank him for this generous offer. I laughed right in his face. The great commander's nephew lacks the confidence to reach the top 10, and is even trying to bribe other contestants to help him. Rattled, he angrily fired back, insisting he would definitely make it. Then he claimed his offer was just charity. Charity for poor and needy contestants like me. I realized then that the xenophobia in Yandu is really intense. I thought to myself that I'd need to change my clothes after I was done with them. One of them warned me not to get cocky just because I killed a rank 2 monster, telling me to listen closely, and informing me that they were all rank 2 fighters, and that young Master Qin himself was rank 3, warning me not to test their patience any further. Suddenly, dust swirled all around us, and a massive black monster emerged through it. His lackeys screamed in terror. It was a rank 4 magical beast. It was the legendary eye-eating demon hound. They couldn't believe their eyes, wondering how a monster this strong could show up here. But young Master Qin regained his confidence, viewing the beast as a chance to show off his skills to me. He summoned his divine soul, a giant tiger, and equipped his steel claws. His lackeys started cheering him on enthusiastically, shouting that their young Master Qin was invincible. He dashed to attack the beast confidently. His lackeys kept cheering for him, chanting that he couldn't be defeated. But the monster crushed him with one easy blow. He instantly dropped to the ground unconscious. His lackeys were completely shocked looking at their defeated master. His goons surged over to help him, while the demonic beast prepped to pounce. I felt disappointed. I was actually looking forward to an exciting fight, but my opponent was taken down in a single second. This was my first encounter with a rank 4 monster, so I decided to test its strength myself, and wondered how many points I'd get for killing it. Suddenly my system displayed a new side quest. The reward was the Howling Celestial Dog, one of Erlang Shen's legendary treasures. Summoning the Howling Celestial Dog, I realized this was Erlang Shen's signature companion. The beast roared furiously in my face. I looked at the reward with a smile and decided to claim it without hesitation. I charged toward it with all my strength. The monster let out a deafening roar, and I clashed with it in a brutal fight. Qin's lackeys wondered in shock what was happening. They couldn't believe this villager didn't run away and even dared attack a rank 4 beast. Qin regained consciousness and mocked me, saying this was no big deal. He thought I was bluffing and pretending to be strong, thinking it wouldn't take long, until the monster tore me to shreds. I shouted "Shatter" as I broke through its defense, and managed to shatter its guard. But it attacked me with its massive claw. I barely blocked the strike, but I managed to hold my ground. They looked at me in pure disbelief. Qin couldn't believe I was still alive. The beast flew into a blind rage. I wiped the blood from my lips with a smile. It really was a strong opponent. This is exactly what's expected of a rank 4 monster. But I decided to wrap this up shouting, "Open Heavenly Eye." I transformed into the armored form of Erlang Shen and dashed toward it with lightning speed. My third eye flared with massive power. The beast unleashed all its might to face me. My spear clashed with its fist in a massive explosion. I dodged its relentless attacks and managed to slam it to the ground. I mocked it, wondering if it was still trying to attack, asking if it even understood the meaning of a rampage. I raised my spear to deliver the finishing blow, and with a single strike, I finished it off. Its lifeless body crashed to the ground. Qin and his lackeys were completely dumbfounded. I turned to them coldly, announcing that the rank 4 monster was dead. My system announced the completion of the side quest, and the quest reward distribution began, summoning the Howling Celestial Dog. The legendary dog appeared before me in a circle of light. I wondered if this was my celestial hound. I never expected to actually summon the mythical Howling Celestial Dog, but even summoning a phantom of it was great. Qin and his lackeys stared at me in shock. One of them pointed out that the black dog looked just like the monster that was defeated, and they realized I had tamed this powerful beast. Qin snapped angrily that he could see that clearly. They concluded my background was anything but ordinary, and decided to tuck tail and run immediately. My new hound and I watched them flee. Then I continued on my way accompanied by the celestial dog. I kept hunting monsters without stopping. Meanwhile, the examiner was watching the screen, impressed by the students' performance this year. There were quite a few of them at rank 3. Then he remembered me, Master Yi Siming's disciple, wondering about my performance so far. But he was shell-shocked when he found me surrounded by an entire pack of rank 4 monsters. He didn't get it, since there were only supposed to be 10 rank 3 monsters, which were meant to be a secret test. He wondered how so many rank 4 monsters appeared, worrying that something dangerous had happened inside. He decided he had to report it to the officials immediately. Honestly, I never expected this situation either. I had killed a few rank 4 monsters, and now I found myself surrounded by a whole herd of them. But a sly smile spread across my face. With these points, I'll definitely secure first place in the tournament without a doubt. I zipped over to attack a massive crystal bear, delivering a powerful strike to it. Then I clashed with a fearsome lightning tiger. I called my celestial hound to help me. It stood ready for battle, then transformed into its true beastly form, and pounced on the lightning tiger with pure ferocity. I faced a mysterious spirit fox. The beast unleashed an enchanting pink mist toward me, and in an instant, I found myself trapped in its illusion. Ji Xiaotang appeared before me in tears, asking if I had forgotten our shared past, but I activated my heavenly eye immediately to see through the trick. I transformed into my divine form, ready to end this battle. Outside, someone alerted the director to what was happening. He saw a student surrounded by a group of rank 4 monsters. A high-ranking female official appeared, seemingly interested in finding out the identity of this unlucky person. She was taken aback when she saw it was me caught in this mess. The battle was fierce, and I took some damage, but I stood firm against the entire pack. At that critical moment, my system sensed I was in a life-or-death battle, and rewarded me with a new divine-level skill. Perfect timing. I immediately activated Divine Fusion, My power exploded, and Erlang Shen's divine soul materialized behind me. My armor transformed, radiating a new power whose source I couldn't comprehend. The director shouted my name in shock, unable to process how my aura suddenly became so powerful. He wondered if I had broken through to a new level mid-battle, but the official beside him realized it was no ordinary breakthrough. She explained that at this brink of death, this young man gained a deeper understanding of his divine soul's essence, doubling his combat power. I felt an amazing sensation. Having a system like this backing me up is incredible. I challenged the remaining monsters to keep fighting. It was time to test this new skill. I dashed forward with blinding speed, delivering a powerful blow to a massive bear, piercing its paw with ease. The rest of the beasts lunged at me all at once. I unleashed the mountain-splitting strike. The energy wave blasted the monsters away from me. I focused my power into the heavenly eye and shot a powerful golden beam toward the fox, completely obliterating the fox. But using this overwhelming power exhausted and strained me. It seemed my current rank 3 power makes using soul fusion insanely taxing on my body. I realized I need to be more careful in the future. The director was dazed, wondering if this was truly the strength of a rank 3 fighter. The female official commented that even a rank 4 awakener, when facing this many rank 4 monsters, would have no choice but to run for their life in despair. But he shouted in shock. He slaughtered them all. She declared that this kid is truly extraordinary. The director wondered if the aristocratic families in Yandu were capable of producing such talent. She turned to him, realizing he knew something, and he revealed to her that I was Commander Yi's new disciple. She flashed a mysterious smile, having realized something, and her eyes reflected my image with deep interest. As the trial ended, a beam of light enveloped us all, and we were teleported back to the main square. The other students immediately started whispering about the rumors. One said a real monster of a guy appeared in this trial, claiming this person was hunting down rank 4 beasts. Another student yelled that he saw more than just rumors. He saw a rank 4 mist spider with his own eyes, and that mysterious person sliced it to pieces in just a few strikes. A noble-looking student wondered if this person was really from their batch, and not a senior graduate from the Divine Pivot House. The director stood before all of us and announced the end of the martial arts tournament, saying it was time to announce the final results. The leaderboard lit up, starting from rank 100, Zhao Qingshan. At rank 99 was Luo Shui, and rank 98 went to Ada. The student named Ada celebrated making the list, while another looked on in disappointment that his name wasn't there. The noble student noticed he had never seen the first-place winner's name before. Then my name, Chen Feng, appeared in gold at the very top of the rankings. The students read the names of the top leaders. One wondered if I, Chen Feng, was from the prestigious Chen family, but his friend dismissed the idea, believing I was from some backwater village. The noble student and his female companion mocked me, calling me a villager and wondering how a peasant like me deserved first place. Another agreed, saying first place should have gone to that guy. I stepped forward with a smirk, pointing to myself as the big guy who hunted down the rank 4 monsters. The student who witnessed my fight yelled, "It's him," exactly as I thought, pointing at me and saying, "That villager." His friend immediately cried foul, claiming there was cheating and refusing to accept the result, stepping forward to demand an investigation. But the director shut him down with a strict order, declaring that the trial's outcome was completely fair and just. Then he addressed the crowd, saying that if anyone had doubts, he would show them exactly why I deserved first place. He displayed a clip on the big screen, and the aura of the monster shown in it was absolutely staggering. One of the students gasped, wondering if that was a rank 4 monster. The guy screamed in shock. It was the hellish rage bull. Another wondered in confusion why a level 4 monster was released in the trial, and what did that have to do with the villager they were accusing of cheating? He refused to believe that I was the one who killed that monster. The noble student insisted it was impossible for me to have killed it, even swearing he'd eat his hat if I did. But the screen showed a clip of me killing the monster with absolute ease. The clip showed exactly how I took down the level 4 monster. The student who made the bet screamed in terror, wondering if I was really a new student just like them. As for the first skeptic, he couldn't believe how I could be this strong, muttering in a daze that this was crazy. Another student concluded that I must already be at level 4. Even the director was impressed, while they had barely reached level 2 themselves. Elsewhere, an old man commented that in previous trials, level 4 monsters were only put there as a mechanism to eliminate weak students, and he never expected a student to actually kill one this year. Another man commented with a smile that killing a level 4 monster right after registration proved this kid's talent was savage. Then the director announced that based on my earned points, I'd get the privilege of choosing my own master and picking 3 of the best materials from the inner vault. The students were blown away by this reward, since the teachers of the Divine Pivot Academy were considered lords in any city outside the capital, and with their power, they could easily become city rulers. Someone added that he heard the teachers at the academy had to be at least level 6 experts. The students felt intensely jealous of me since I got the freedom to choose my own master. 3 teachers appeared before me to offer to take me as their disciple. A dignified-looking female teacher told me I must have the highest points in this trial, asking if I would become her disciple. She offered that if I chose her, she would fund my training all the way to level 6. Another teacher objected to this aggressive way of scouting students. Then he turned to me with a friendly smile, promising that as long as I chose him, in addition to all resources up to level 6, he would also cover my room and board. He added that if my parents were willing, he could bring them to Yan Capital. He'd even guarantee them official residency there. The students were shocked by this generous offer, for the number of outsiders getting residency in the capital was less than 100 people a year, and with capital residency plus the promised resources from the teacher, this guaranteed reaching level 6. A young female teacher interrupted them and offered me, on top of everything the other teacher offered, that if there was a woman I liked, she would arrange a marriage proposal for me, and if not, she'd find me a suitable wife. The students yelled in absolute shock. They couldn't believe the offers went as far as arranging marriages, a wife delivered right to your doorstep. Even the noble student wished he could get those perks. I thanked them for their generous offers but told them I had already made up my mind. Suddenly, young Master Qin and his lackeys interrupted us, telling me to hold on. In his office, the Black Shield Army commander was grumbling about how tough it was to break through to level 9, wondering how Master Yi managed to pull it off, since she reached that level before even turning 30. The voice of his assistant interrupted him, asking for permission to enter. He had come to give him a report. The commander allowed him in and asked what it was about. The commander thought it was about Cheng Xiao again, but the assistant informed him that the Divine Pivot Academy trials were over. The commander didn't care much, assuming his son Ming took first place, but the assistant told him his son didn't get first place, and that first place went to a student named Chen Feng. The commander stopped writing, completely shell-shocked, and asked him about the achievements this student pulled off. The assistant began recounting what happened, and told him I killed a level 4 monster all by myself. The commander commented that it wasn't bad. He managed to kill a level 4 awakener in Kanglin City, so killing a level 4 monster solo is impressive but expected. The assistant added that their inside spies reported that I faced an ambush by 7 level 4 monsters, and slaughtered every single one of them. The commander declared that I must have reached level 4, but the assistant confirmed that based on the spies' reports. The commander's assistant confirmed that my aura showed abilities exclusive to level 4, like soul fusion. The commander commented that cross-level killing isn't rare, but pulling it off while surrounded by 7 magical beasts, and even using soul fusion, is extraordinary. The commander seemed fascinated by this, so he issued an immediate order. He told his son Ming to recruit me. The assistant left to carry out the order. The commander thought to himself that a talent like this must be eliminated if it couldn't be harnessed for their cause. In the square, I was standing with the rest of the passing students. Qin interrupted me, calling out my name. I mockingly asked him if he was looking for revenge, but he denied it, claiming he represented the entire Qin family, and ordered me to join their family, and to choose a master from among them, emphasizing that the teachers had already made promises, and that the Qin family would fulfill every single promise. He added that this wasn't all. After you graduate successfully, you can join the Mystic Shield Legion with the rank of a centurion. The students wondered in shock. Did he mean Commander Qin's family? The offer to join the Mystic Shield Legion and even become a centurion was unbelievable, for they heard that a centurion in this legion had to be at least rank 6. The noble student didn't get it, wondering why I deserved all this special treatment. Qin urged me to make my decision, asking if I had decided to join the Qin family. Once you join us, you'll become one of us. I thanked him for his generous offer but told them I had to refuse. Qin didn't process what I said at first, then asked me in shock, "What?" The students shouted in surprise. I actually turned down the offer. He rejected such a mind-blowing offer from the Qin family, wondering why anyone would refuse to join the Qin family. Someone even said they'd be willing to be a slave for them. Qin yelled angrily, demanding to know why I'd refuse. He claimed that nobody could offer better terms than the Qin family, asking if I saw how sincere they were, how I could possibly say no, believing I must have misspoke. I admitted that their offer was indeed generous, but I apologized again and told him I already had a master. He angrily asked who my master was, challenging anyone who dared oppose the Qin family. Suddenly, my master Yi's voice spoke up, wondering why everyone was so intent on causing trouble. The other teachers and Qin bowed respectfully to greet her. The students shouted in shock when they heard her name, realizing I was her disciple and calling it a total joke, for she was one of the 3 Siming lords, the youngest and most mysterious among them, and they wondered how I could be worthy of being her disciple. I whispered her name to myself. What a stunning name. I stepped toward her and bowed respectfully. She looked at me and said I secured first place, and that it wasn't bad at all, and that I didn't embarrass her. My master announced that I was her new disciple, and that I got first place. Then she asked if anyone had an objection. The other teachers replied that there were no objections. Then she said she was taking me with her first. One of the female teachers mentioned that the champion's reward should be sent out quickly. The teacher in charge agreed immediately. Then my master placed her hand on my shoulder, and we vanished together. Everyone bowed respectfully as they saw her off. One of the female teachers said that since I was her choice, it seemed we weren't destined to be together. The other teacher reluctantly agreed, commenting that he could only concur. The young female teacher never expected Yi to take another disciple, but Qin muttered that this was fine. At least the Qin family didn't get him. Qin realized his master had spoken, and wondered if his master was dissatisfied with his cousin, Qin Hui, because he was constantly bothering Cheng Xiao. Qin decided he had to go back and inform his uncle about what happened. Meanwhile, Ada was still ecstatic, never imagining he'd get a chance to see Lord Simon Qingming in his lifetime, and felt like he had no regrets now. His friend agreed, adding that Simon Qingming isn't just a rank 9 powerhouse, but she's also breathtakingly beautiful. In another place, my master took me to a quiet cottage in the mountains. She asked me if I knew why she brought me here. I replied that I didn't know. She looked at me and said that as her disciple, those people wouldn't dare hurt me, but she warned me that if I caused trouble, I should never mention her name. I asked her what to do if others came to bully me again. She replied that she still remembered her simple words. Then she drew her sword with pure skill and unleashed a powerful attack that obliterated the peak of a distant mountain. Then she simply told me to slice them down with a single strike. Later, I found myself in front of an ancient building. I wondered if this was the inner vault, since it looked completely deserted. The coughing sound of an old man interrupted me. It was the vault guardian, and he asked if I was Chen Feng, the champion of this trial. I bowed respectfully, assuming he was the guardian, but he stopped me, saying there was no need for formalities. You took first place in the trial, and your future holds limitless potential. Then he told me to skip the red tape, and shot a beam of energy to open up a vortex portal. Before I stepped in, he warned me not to act recklessly inside. Otherwise, nobody would be able to protect me. We walked through the portal together. He told me this was the inner vault, and according to the regulations, I could choose from the items here. I could pick any 3 top-tier materials. I asked him if I could really choose whatever I wanted. He assured me I could only pick 3 items, no more. My eyes were instantly drawn to wind flame wood, an incredibly rare material. It's a dream for any wind and fire element awakener. I couldn't believe they had it here. Suddenly my system screen popped up in front of me, unlocking a new side quest. Obtain chrome gold and Shen silver. Reward, golden bow and silver bullets. Holy crap, silver bullets and a golden bow. These are the treasures of the legendary pure origin divine lord of the Grand Way. Among Yang Jian's magical artifacts, alongside the mountain-splitting axe and the 3-pointed double-edged spear, the golden bow and silver bullets are the most famous. These treasures are just as magnificent as the howling celestial dog. I immediately spotted the chrome gold on one of the shelves, so I took it without hesitation, completing half the quest right there. I smiled to myself. I got half of the golden bow and silver bullets, wondering if the vault had the remaining half. And sure enough, luck was on my side. I found the Shen silver on another shelf, although this used up 2 of my choice slots. Getting treasures like the golden bow and silver bullets was completely worth it. The side quest completed instantly as I secured the chrome gold and Shen silver, and the 2 items transformed right in my hands, becoming the golden bow and silver bullets. Mission complete. I discovered that this bow and bullets come with built-in piercing power. The golden bullets naturally pierce armor, while the silver bullets have innate magic-breaking properties. This way, I can get so much done, keeping my heavenly eye hidden as a trump card for regular times. Now, after getting the biggest haul from this trip, I decided to let Cheng Xiao pick something with my remaining slot. Then a glowing ice lotus caught my eye. I instantly remembered that Cheng Xiao had awakened an S-grade ice phoenix, so this should be incredibly useful for her. I walked out of the vault carrying the ice lotus. The guardian asked me if this was for the Cheng girl, wondering why I didn't pick something for myself and reminding me that entering the inner palace vault is rare, with very few chances. But I told him I already took 2 treasures for myself, and that was plenty. He told me he wouldn't try to convince me anymore. Then he showed a box to put the treasures in, mockingly asking what it'd look like if I walked around carrying treasures out in the open. Then he told me I could leave now. I thanked him and left. While the guardian commented that this new disciple, Xiao Yi, was interesting, I was walking on my way carrying the treasure I chose, and suddenly realized I forgot to ask my master where Cheng Xiao was. Then I heard some students running, wondering if I heard the news. One of them said Master Yi's disciple was going to fight someone named Qin Hui. The other wondered in shock if it was true. The first one confirmed the news, pointing toward their destination. They were heading to the dueling arena, of course. I anxiously wondered if it was Cheng Xiao. In the arena, Qin Hui was asking Cheng Xiao to join him, offering her the position of the future lady of the Qin family. and assured her that this future position belonged to her alone. In the stands, the girls were hyped about this proposal, while others condemned it. A student explained that this girl was Master Yi's disciple. Another added that her opponent was Commander Qin's son, so the match was bound to be amazing. But Chengxiao strictly rejected him and told him to give up, declaring that her heart already belonged to someone else. Qin Hui looked at her in shock and rage, and unleashed his immense power, shouting and demanding to know who this person was. Chengxiao smiled, saying he'd never understand the bond between us. Qin Hui's energy erupted in the arena. Then he said angrily, "So be it then," vowing to submit her with his power. The crowd was amazed by his legendary SS-grade divine soul, the Dark Knight demonic shark. Someone commented that this is exactly what's expected of Commander Qin's son. Chengxiao acknowledged his immense strength, but challenged him, telling him she wasn't afraid of him at all, and summoned her divine soul, the Ice Phoenix. The judges recognized her S-grade soul, the Ice Emperor, and confirmed it was among the strongest S-grade souls, praising her master's unparalleled foresight. Qin Hui mocked her, saying she was still stuck at rank 2, while he had already reached rank 4. Chengxiao snapped back that her divine soul was still 1 grade higher than his. He mockingly wondered what weapon she was going to fight him with. Then he launched a violent attack at her. She countered him with a frost breath attack. Her phoenix unleashed a massive ice blast, but he broke right through it easily and ordered her to surrender, emphasizing that he outmatched her in strength and level, and declared she had 0 chance of winning, then unleashed his Nightclaw attack. His attack completely shattered her ice defense. Chengxiao dropped to the ground defeated. The crowd was shocked by young Master Qin's true power, unable to believe Master Yi's disciple was crushed this easily, and someone mentioned he joined the academy just a year ago. Yet, he already reached rank 4. They all agreed his power was truly terrifying. The judges were discussing Chengxiao's situation, estimating her combat power should be at a rank 3 level. But unluckily for her, she faced the rank 4 Qin Hui, wondering what she could even do in this situation, especially since Qin Hui is Commander Qin's own son. Suddenly someone noticed something changing in the arena. Qin Hui stood before her and said if she had accepted his offer, this would have never happened. My voice cut through the dust asking, "So you're Qin Hui?" He turned around in surprise, wondering who was there. I appeared in the arena, holding Chengxiao in my arms. She looked up at me in relief, happy that I finally came. I handed her over to the medical team to look after her. Then I faced Qin Hui, asking if he was the one challenging my master's disciple. I transformed into my gold-armored divine form and introduced myself, Chen Feng, disciple of the Lady of the Azure Abyss. The onlookers wondered in confusion if the master had other disciples, since they thought Chengxiao was her only one. Someone concluded I must be a new recruit, but thought it was completely pointless, since even Chengxiao couldn't defeat young Master Qin, so how could a new disciple beat him? The judges noticed the master had taken another disciple, but one found it strange that my divine rank looked unfamiliar. Meanwhile, Qin Hui thought to himself that the great master would never accept F-grade trash as her disciple. Then he asked me, "So you're the one Chengxiao loves?" I confidently replied, "That's me," and asked him what he wanted from me. He sneered and said, "Nothing much." Then he challenged me to show him what makes me worthy of her love. He unleashed his divine fusion skill. The crowd realized Qin Hui intended to kill me, since he started the fight right away with divine fusion. The judges believed that if I didn't show something worthwhile, Qin Hui would beat me to death right then and there, and one wondered if they should step in. The judges pointed to me as the disciple of the Lady of the Azure Abyss. I figured the timing was perfect for a battle. I dashed toward my opponent with all my might. I leaped into the air to attack him while he wondered about my divine rank. The onlookers felt an immense pressure from my aura, even feeling that my strength surpassed Qin Hui's. The teachers wondered how a divine soul could manifest in human form, thinking this appearance went against everything they knew, and wondered if I had awakened a second divine soul. His divine shadow began to shrink before my soul phantom. The students realized this was a sign of an impending divine fusion, wondering if another rank 4 awakener had appeared. I focused all my energy and started the divine fusion process. I glowed with a powerful aura after completing the fusion. Qin Hui mocked it, calling it just a divine fusion, and attacked me. My golden spear clashed with his dark energy ball. A blinding light erupted from the force of the impact. The crowd was temporarily blinded, wondering about the match's outcome, shouting that they couldn't see. Even the teachers found the light too intense to bear, complaining that it was impossible to watch the match like this, predicting the arena might be affected, and that this match would force the implementation of new rules. I pressed my attack amidst the blinding light. Our weapons clashed in a violent battle. One of the judges thought Qin Hui had the upper hand, but another teacher realized something was wrong. His colleague asked him what he meant. He declared that I wasn't at rank 4, but rank 3. The rest of the judges were shocked by this revelation. With the power of a rank 3 awakener, I was facing my opponent, and I had even mastered the rank 4 exclusive skill, Divine Fusion. The teacher called me a genius. a once-in-a-lifetime miracle. Chin Hui mocked me, calling me rank 3 trash. I pressured him with my attack, landing multiple strikes. I declared that the warm-up was over, and it was time to end this boring match. He launched a massive, fiery blast attack at me. I agreed with him that the warm-up was over and prepared for my counterattack. I summoned my golden bow and arrow. He mocked my new weapon, wondering if I thought this broken scrap metal could do anything, boasting of his power in front of me, and revealed that after using Fiery Blast, he gains a massive defensive boost. I fired my golden and silver bullets. The bullets pierced straight through his body. He slammed onto the ground in shock. Lying on the ground, he wondered what dark magic I used, unable to believe how I shattered his defense. I mockingly asked him if he called that a defense, telling him I thought it was just a bump in the road. I turned my back on my defeated opponent and stood before the crowd. From the stands, my master's colleague said her new disciple is anything but ordinary. I calmly replied to my master that I can open the gates. Her colleague was shocked by this statement, asking her if she was joking. My master began telling a story that started 30,000 years ago, explaining that rank 9 had become the absolute limit, and that reaching the peak of rank 9 isn't enough, as one remains stuck behind an invisible gate. Her colleague was deeply shaken, asking if I could really open that gate. My master ordered her to calm down and keep this a secret. The colleague agreed, saying she understood the gravity of the situation. Then she got excited, realizing that if I could open it, I'd be the first to surpass rank 9, wondering if this person would actually emerge from their divine palace. My master chuckled softly, saying nobody can predict the future. Meanwhile, Commander Chin was receiving a report. His subordinate informed him that the report was ready, stating that I rejected Qin Ming's invitation. The commander noted that this was an offer an ordinary person wouldn't refuse, unless I had already sworn allegiance to a master, and that master was Yi Ningguang. The commander asked for any other information. The subordinate informed him that it concerned young master Chin Hui. The commander repeated his son's name, and the subordinate confirmed I defeated him in the arena. The paper on the commander's desk burst into flames. The commander admitted he completely misjudged me. Later, I visited Chengxiao in the hospital, and she congratulated me. I told her that her injury hadn't healed yet, urging her to rest and recover. I presented her with the ice lotus I picked out for her. She absorbed its power and felt energy surging through her body, staring at the flower in absolute awe. I told her this was a treasure I got from the inner vault, revealing to her that it's the mystic ice lotus of 9 secrets. She asked in astonishment if this was the treasure from the inner vault. I offered it to her, saying I'd give it to her if she liked it, but she firmly refused, saying this thing was way too precious, insisting she couldn't possibly accept it. I reassured her, saying there was no need to worry, and confirmed that I chose this lotus specifically for her. Then I threatened her that if she didn't want it, I'd just throw it away. She immediately grabbed it, wondering how anyone could throw away such a treasure. I asked her to try and absorb it quickly, telling her it would help her recover fast. She immediately agreed and said she'd try. She sat in a meditative posture while holding the lotus. A bright light radiated from her forehead as she absorbed it. It seemed the mystic ice lotus was truly effective. She opened her eyes, and seeing that she was already feeling better, I knew I didn't make a mistake in picking it for her. Her ice phoenix soul manifested majestically in the room. Now that Chengxiao's situation was settled, it was time to tend to my own business. I pulled out my tournament reward, the heaven-mending pill. I wondered how much it could upgrade my F-grade divine core, and how far it could be improved. I swallowed the pill without hesitation. My golden heavenly eye instantly snapped open. A powerful golden aura enveloped me as I sat on the bed, but I screamed in absolute terror. This was not good at all.